my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. My name's Amanda. I am the face behind the Speech Loft. I make weekly videos based on therapy materials for speech and language. I am a 5th year SLP in the elementary schools, so I have a lot of fun ideas to share. I like to collaborate with a lot of people. Stick around, it's a fun time. If you are a friend returning and joining me again, hello, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you have come back to see what we've got going on, and I'm really excited because this week is an exciting video. This week I am starting therapy with my kiddos again. Tomorrow is actually our first day. The way my county works is the first 2 weeks that the kids come back, we're doing hearing screenings and just like paperwork, regular screenings, getting our caseloads together, scheduling, everything like that. And then we start our services beginning the 3rd week that the kids come back. So they've kind of already gotten into the swing of things, gives them a chance to kind of get acclimated to the classroom and the routine again before we start popping in and pulling them and like making their day a mess. Along with this being the first week of therapy, this is actually my first time meeting these kids. As you guys know, if you followed me over the summer, I switched schools. I am in a new elementary school this year, so I know nothing about these children aside from what I've read about them on paper, which, let me tell you, if you're new to this, the first thing that you're gonna learn is that what people say about the child is not always who the child is, okay? If I had $1 for every time there was something written about a child and I was like, oh my God, what are we getting into? And then I met the kid and they were awesome and like there was absolutely no reason to be worried, I could retire and be on a yacht right now. Actually, probably not a yacht because I don't like boats, but something of that nature. With that being said, I have prepared the largest gamut of back-to-school speech and language therapy activities this week. I don't usually go this far out for it. I usually pick a language activity, an articulation activity, and we make it work, and I just adapt it based on the group levels. This way, it cuts down on your planning time. You're not running around like a chicken without a head, and things run smoothly and kids get to know that routine. And also, if they're struggling a little bit the first time you introduce it, they get a chance to really master it the next time that you see them. That's typically how I like to run it, but because I don't know the kids, as I've said, I have planned a bunch of different activities just in case something's too high, something's too low, whatever the case may be, I can scratch it, pull something else, and we are good to go. Moving right along, the first thing that I have planned, I mean, this is honestly in no particular order because my groups are kind of all over the place. I have this book that I made last year. It's called Going to School. I am doing this with my developmental preschool class. It is one of the classes that have children that are on a lower level in it, so we are going to be working on this. It was a big hit last year. It's just pretty much a picture book with a simple sentence on the page. These have little stickers on them from last year because what I have them do is match the picture on top of it, and I have those. It's just working on like vocabulary, people, like your teacher. We've got friends in here, and then I started to put in blanks for as we get higher up, we use a book to learn. Like I said, identifying vocab, super cute, very durable. I really like this. Let me know if you would like me to put this in my TPT shop. I don't have it up currently. I didn't really plan this last year when I first started. I was like just launching TPT. Not really sure if people are super interested in these, but let me know. I'd be happy to put this up. Next, to kind of go along with that storybook, I have a file folder match game, and it is just all of the things that we saw in the storybook. So our school, our parents, our teacher, our friends, what's this, the book, our pencil case, our desk where we sit, our backpack, scissors. On the back is a pencil, a computer, some crayons, a clock, and some blocks. So I use this with, once again, identifying the vocabulary. With these kiddos, they need a lot of repetition and a lot of different ways that you're presenting things. So that's why I have this to kind of go along with it. And I strategically put it where it's only a few pictures per visual side, so they're not overwhelmed with choices. You can fold this back, and then I also have a piece of paper or cardstock, actually that works better, and I'll cover up choices as needed. So, I mean, they might even just be at the part where they're pointing to the school, and that's the only picture showing, and then I'll kind of uncover maybe the school in another picture, and then we'll kind of work with that. A lot of times it's hand over hand, but this is a great way to kind of introduce those vocabulary and, you know, introducing that concept of labeling an item either receptively or expressively. And I like it because they're durable. You can't break a file folder. The next activity I have to kind of go along with that whole school supply type ordeal is my real life school supply backpack. And I usually play what's in my backpack for this. So I just have this plain backpack, and then I've got some school supplies in here. We've got a notebook, I've got my pencil box. In my pencil box I've got a pencil, some scissors, and then just a box of crayons. And what I love this for is for my younger kids who are working on attributes and descriptive language. So what we do is we kind of shake it up, and I will describe something. It's kind of like, I guess, I Spy, same premise. I will describe something in my backpack, and they will have to try to guess it. I do the first example, and then we kind of go around, and they pick an item, and they have to describe it and see if all of their friends can guess it. I love this also because it is a tangible item. They are seeing an actual visual representation of what we're talking about. I use this along with that storybook also in the developmental preschool room, once again, so they have something that they can touch and see and something that looks familiar and what they use in class. The kids love this too. I don't know why they have backpacks, but they seem to really like this one. So that's another fun activity that I like to do with my younger kids that are still working on those questions. I can also do WH questions. We can do yes/no questions. Sometimes I'll toss in things that are like not relevant to school, and I'll pull it out and we'll be like, oh, should a stuffed animal be in here? Or, you know, what do we use to write our name at the top of our paper, and things like that. So there's a lot of different ways that I adapt it to work with the kids, like I said, depending on their needs. Super cute activity. They really like it. It makes the sessions go really fast. Next on my list is we are going to read a story, and it is called There Was a Speech Teacher Who Swallowed Some Dice. A take on the There Was an Old Lady, I Know an Old Lady franchise. This was written by Patricia L. Mervine. She's a speech language pathologist. My mom actually picked this up for me. I think she got it on Amazon, so I will definitely link it down below if you want to pick it up. Such a cute story. It's pretty adorable. It's all about the things that the speech teacher ate, and then she burps up a speech therapy room. And it's a really cute book, breaks the ice, especially for kids that, you know, maybe are coming to speech therapy for the first time, my kindergartners. And then, of course, along with my old lady themed activities, y'all know that there's, of course, a component to it. So this is my There Was a Speech Teacher Who Swallowed Some Dice. This is actually kind of terrifying, but I just photoshopped my face to have an open mouth. Yeah, it'll probably get a lot of laughs out of the kids. But as we go through the story, we are going to feed me all of the things that apparently I'm going to eat during the book, and then I burp up a speech language therapy room. Alright, so the next activity I have is for my older kiddos. I think they're 3rd and 4th graders, and they are working on pragmatics. So in essence, they have a lot of goals based on answering questions, kind of responding to people that are talking to them, that turn-taking of just your general conversations. And I thought this was a perfect way to kind of break the ice, get to know them a little bit, and also target those goals. So we are just going to play a game, any game, haven't decided yet. I'll probably let them pick. This way it kind of feels like they have more of a choice. And we are going to have these conversation cards. And they are, we go from basics to just what is your name. Then I have what do you want to be when you grow up? What's the best thing about being your age? Different questions to kind of spark different bits of conversation, and hopefully it'll stem off of, I'll have one child answer and then another child answer, and then we can kind of go from there and create a dialogue between the 3, 4, however many of us. This last language activity is probably the one I'm most excited for, and also the one that I figured out that I was doing Friday at work and spent the day prepping it. I don't know if I filmed it. It might be in a vlog. I don't know. But at some point last week, we were cleaning out one of the closets in the conference rooms, and I came across some games that nobody was using, and the preschool teacher happened to gift me some of them. One of the games I acquired was good old Guess Who. That's exciting in and of itself, but the real exciting part is not the actual game Guess Who, is that I adapted it for, once again, our back to school theme. I was able to put in my own pictures. What I did was I printed out 24 office school supply items, and we put it in each one of these windows. You mix it up and we just play it like regular old Guess Who. I'm going to be using this to target turn taking. These don't want to stay up. I'm going to target turn taking with this. WH questions, yes, no questions, descriptive language again, you name it, you can pretty much target this. I love this idea. I've already started making other sets for this because I know I'm going to be using this all year for holidays, for food themes, of course. Anything that we can use this for, I'm probably going to use it because I know the kids are going to love this game. They've always loved playing it, and now there's a way to kind of actually work it into being about whatever theme or unit that we are talking about. And then to go along with that, I just have these kind of, I guess, reminder cards so that the student can kind of have a picture of what it is that the other person is trying to guess so that they are able to remember. Y'all know the premise of Guess Who. Ask your questions, knock down the ones that don't apply until you're left with one, and then you can take a guess, or I guess maybe two or three, and then you can take a guess on what the other person's object, or technically person, was. This was a huge hit on Instagram. I posted a preview of it, I think Friday, while I was still at work, and I got a ton of Instagram comments and DMs and messages asking all about the who's, the what's, the ins and the outs of this. So if you were watching this on Sunday, August 26th, when I post it, I will have a link to this set in my TPT shop down below, and it will be 50% off for this whole first week back. So definitely snag this if you have a Guess Who and you don't feel like making all of those tiles, because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But I've got you covered. The link is down below if you would like that. Definitely pick it up, because like I said, it'll be 50% off this whole week for back to school. Just kidding, I lied. That was not my last language activity for the week. Don't you just love when you do that? We are also going to be making this really cute back to school pencil. I definitely saw this on Instagram someplace. There were like back to school supplies that you could make. It's made out of the popsicle sticks, and then I just cut out some tin foil and then some brown, black, and pink construction paper. I love this to target following directions, sequencing. I'm going to be using this with my younger kiddos again, ones that are maybe more kinesthetic, like to be hands-on, and we can kind of use this later on in the week once I've met them. And like I said, great for following directions. I have so many kids this year that are working on following directions, either one-step or multi-step, so I'm very excited to get to use this. I can even do it with my younger Artic kiddos. I can put some articulation words on these popsicle sticks, so this way when they take it home, they have something to practice. Whole lot of exciting things. I always loved arts and crafts. I love make and take activities. They're a little bit more work, and it's a little bit more stressful as you're doing it, but I think it's so worth it because they have something to take home, and it looks super cute. So there's that. All right, finally for my articulation kiddos, we can't forget them. They are going to be piloting the articulation cards that I have worked tirelessly on all summer long. Currently, they are all finished, but I'm trying to figure out a way to shrink the file because the PowerPoint presentation is 210 slides so far, and that's not with like the cover page or the credits page or anything like that. That's just 210 pages of actual product. So it is much too large for TPT. Although it's not up in my TPT shop yet, definitely keep an eye out. It'll probably be up sometime by the end of this week. Like I said, once I figure out how to shrink the file without losing the quality. But it is all finished. This is what they look like up close. So this card has the blend sounds, R blends, S blends, L blends. And then most of the time, it is just one card per sound. So this is R sounds, initial, medial, final positions. I have 10 words per position for a total of 30 words. That's the case for, I'd say like 85–90% of them, unless we're getting into, like I said, the blend sounds or sounds that don't have words in every position, like H. Then I just did the ones that I could, and that's kind of how we're moving along with this. These are the same size as the photo boxes. I designed them so that they would fit into those little photo cases of that big organizer case that we all buy way too many of at Michael's. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So these will fit in there really nicely, and I just have the page with the sounds on it, and then I have these pictures. So this one is an R sound, and it's highlighted, so the R is in the middle position here, and it's a picture of a worm, and then the sentence is, "The worm lives in the ground." So they can either just say the sound as you're going through, taking just inventory at the word level, then you can show them the picture of it if you want, if you don't want to model it, and then they can either say the sentence or they can make their own sentence up based on the word or the picture. So I really love this. These ones are laminated, but I'm going to use this for progress monitoring throughout the year. So all of this week with my kiddos, I'm taking baseline data. So we're probably just going to be using the actual sound card. I'm just going to go through, have them say the words, and I'm going to check off which ones they get, which ones they don't get, so I know where they're starting at with the particular sounds that they're working on in their IEP. And then I will check in 4.5 weeks. We'll kind of do it again, see if there's any more that they get, so on and so forth. I can't stress enough how thankful I am that I have parents that want to help and want to be involved. So like I said, I will be sending these home with parents for practice, both for homework with my kiddos that I have on my caseload, and also I think these are going to be really awesome for my SST kids, so the kids that I'm screening or that we're doing interventions with, because we don't necessarily think they need to be put through a full evaluation to receive speech and language therapy services. These can just go home with them. I can print out the sounds along with the sound posters that I have, which is another huge hit. I will also link those down below. Parents love those, especially for, like I said, the kiddos that are maybe going to be seen for speech therapy but aren't necessarily in it yet. Teachers also love them. I give those out with my pre-referral interventions, and it's just a poster of how you make the sound and everything about it, kind of a fun name for the sound. On the back, it is all of the sounds in the initial, medial, final position, as well as some phrases. And then on an additional page, it is a giant poster of the mouth, which explains or shows a visual presentation of how you're supposed to align your mouth so that you can make that sound. These I think will pair very nicely with that, and like I said, once I have these set up in TPT where you can download them without losing all of your computer space, I will have that link down below as well. Whew, I feel like that was a lot. That was probably overwhelming. Was that overwhelming for you? I don't know. I feel like I got a lot of stuff going on. But good news, that is everything that I have planned for this week in speech with my kiddos. Like I said, I do not always go this crazy with it. This is just because I'm meeting my kids for the first time. I don't know what levels they're technically at, and I want to have a variety of activities to not only keep their interest, but also kind of get a feel for where they're at. All of that being said, I'm very, very excited for my first week of school. That's gonna wrap it up for this video, though. I've already yammered on way too long, I can tell. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. I post there most frequently, I would say, just pictures throughout the day, updates on how the week is going. I can interact with everyone on there, and it's just a really quick and easy way to message back and forth. Definitely subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I make new videos weekly, twice a week. I don't really know how the schedule is going to go yet, so don't quote me, but definitely weekly, at least on the therapy activities that I have planned for the week ahead. And I would love if you would join me on this journey. If you've been watching me for some time now, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love the fact that I'm getting to interact with everybody in the comments and that we can actually talk, and I get to match names with faces. I've subscribed to a bunch of your channels. I love seeing what you guys are doing and how you set up your rooms and everything. It just makes me feel like I'm not the only person that goes all out for work. And that makes me feel very good. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.